Hi again. I wanted to do another video today because of something that came up in the previous video about my ex-husband cheating on me with prostitutes for a very long time. So before I continue, I just wanted to say hello, welcome. This is Clea, and this is Clea's World. And we are going to answer the question today, is cheating a personality trait? I personally believe it is. I personally believe that there are people who just refuse to cheat. They find it that it's below them. So the people who do cheat, of course, there's millions of excuses. You know, they're bored, they don't like their marriage. I'm sure you've heard, even on television, we hear all kinds of excuses for this. And I'm not saying that it's out of the question to patch things up after something like this happens, because sometimes it is a sign of malaise in a relationship. And if the two parties are interested in fixing things, I'm sure it is possible. However, what I have discovered from my own personal history is that cheating is very much a personality trait, meaning that there are people who think cheating is acceptable. They might not think of themselves, you know, when you're a kid, you're not there thinking, oh, one day I'm going to get married and I'm going to cheat on my wife, or whatever the case might be, whatever your partner, whatever you're calling your partner. But there are people who allow that to happen because they don't think that it's a no-no as much as some other people do. So for example, in the same situation, there are people who will never ever cheat, again, for the simple reason that they think that that's just not something you do. And then if you do have a problem, you resolve it, or you just stay miserable. Cheating has never been a cure for being miserable. Let's put it this way. It might be a way to escape reality. There are a lot of people who like to escape reality, and cheating is just one way of doing it. Another way of doing it could be drinking, could be, other sorts of addictions. But at the end of the day, is something that is not going to help anything. And I think the people cheating knows that. In fact, most times when a person cheats, doesn't do it because they're thinking, oh, I'm going to fix something, or I'm going to feel better. One, as I said, they're distracting themselves. They're trying to find something to take them away from their reality. Just like what happens when you start drinking a lot, or that kind of thing, or maybe take some recreational drugs or anything of that sort. But also because they want their cake and they want to eat it too. In other words, they could, if they were that miserable, that this drove them to do something that's so out of character, they could leave their spouse, or they could leave their partner, or they could speak with their partner and do the work. But they don't want to do any of this. They want to have fun. They want to have a distraction while they keep the relationship going. Is this because they love their partner? Or is it because it's too much trouble and too painful and too inconvenient to actually look at their relationship and be honest about it? I have my own answer for this. This is just my view of things, having looked at my own personal life. And just to give you a quick summary, my ex-husband, I found out he had been cheating on me a few years into our marriage while we were living in Dubai. And at the time, I forgave him. I was in love with him. We had a great life. I was fairly happy in my marriage. And when he told me that it's because we were living in Dubai and he was running around all day working really hard, and I know he was flying to different places every few days. I mean, he just really had a hard life. I decided to forgive him. And but the second time I found out he had been cheating on me, we were living in Thailand, which is also a go-go place in many ways. And he told me, yeah, everybody does it, and whatever, same spiel as before. He was stressed, etc., etc. I realized it wasn't a reason, it wasn't because of the context. It was because that's who he is. He wanted me around. He thinks that having a wife is a good thing, or a wife that, makes him look good, or whatever the reason for a person having a wife when they don't really want to be fully committed to the relationship. But then he wasn't interested in focusing his attention on it. It's almost like I felt like I was a sofa, a piece of furniture. You bought it, you leave it there, you use it when you need it. So you take a nap on the couch or whatever it is, but then you're moving on and focusing on the rest of your life. life. And that's exactly how I felt and how he treated me. And this is very, very common. A lot of relationships die because the moment that you get married, that's not the beginning of your relationship, is the end for a lot of people. They feel like they've achieved something and now they can focus on something else. And many times you assume you're focusing on building something together, but oftentimes people grow in different directions, focus on different things, and really don't want to spend the time and the attention that it takes to keep a relationship going, which is a lot of work. I understand that. But so I wanted to make this video because one of the most common things that happens is that cheaters find excuses, of course, for their behavior. I don't know if anybody comes up and says, yeah, I did that and it was totally wrong and I'm super ashamed of myself. So I wanted to put this out there because oftentimes we as the victims feel like, yeah, everybody does this. We've heard this. We've been programmed by the culture to assume this is normal. This is to be expected. This just happens. Yeah, it might happen, but it's not a good thing. And it doesn't speak highly about the person we have in front of us. So we need to stop and reconsider and look at this person. And in my case, what I did when I looked at him the second time, I said, would I even want to be with this person if I met him today? If I knew today what I know about him and I met him and he asked me to, even as friends, to go have a glass of wine or to go get some coffee, would I even be interested in spending any time with this person? And my answer very clearly was no. So it was easy for me to decide that I was done with him. So I guess the point of this is that be very careful what you allow in your life. These people are good. When they tell you, when they come up with excuses, they know what they're doing. It's like a survival instinct. In my ex-husband's case, for example, we would have like 10 explanations for the same thing. In a 5-minute long conversation, he would basically contradict himself, but keep going, almost like he was throwing spaghetti at a wall, trying to see what stuck. And you know what? It had worked many times before, even in other instances. So it wasn't wrong to do this. We are vulnerable. When we are with a narcissist, we are vulnerable because they work us over time. So I am putting this video out because cheating is one of those things where it really is very, very often. I would say the vast majority of the times, it's a very black and white issue. The person is telling you something about themselves, something about their values and who they are. People who have integrity do not cheat. Thank you. And please let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, what your experience is. I'm open to hearing it all. I read every comment and I respond. And also, in case you have gone through a narcissistic relationship and you're looking for relief, I've created a workbook called How to Overcome Narcissistic Abuse and Take Your Power Back for Good. And I'll put a description, I'll put a link to it in the description box below. Thank you so much and see you again soon.